Very few watchmakers seem to really be pushing the boundaries these days, and I think Hublot is really onto something here. Welcome back to Jaztime. Jaztime.com is an online store that buys, sells, and trades authentic luxury watches. We make these videos so you can easily choose the best watch for yourself in the comfort of your own home. We offer the lowest prices anywhere online, and if you'd like to know the price, simply click on the links in the description below. We greatly appreciate if you purchase your next watch from us at Jaztime.com. Today we'll be going over one of Hublot's timepieces, if you can actually call it that. Well, it is a Spirit of Big Bang Meca-10 Black Magic. Now, what makes it a black magic? It's made entirely out of ceramic, a black ceramic with a scratch-resistant sapphire and a bit of titanium on the back. Now, we'll be going over all the casing, the sort of bezel, if you can call it that, the strap, the dial, as well as the crown functions, and the movement as well, and I'll be giving you my thoughts on all of those as we proceed throughout the video. Now, the reference number for this is the 614.CI.1170.RX. Once you sort of understand the naming convention for their model numbers, it's actually incredibly easy to remember. We'll probably make a video on that a little bit later, but for now we'll focus on this timepiece here. Now, why would it be difficult to call this a timepiece? Well, taking a look at it initially, well, it's kind of hard to tell that it is indeed a watch. Well, would you put something like this on your wrist? Well, maybe. Well, let's take a look at it. So, first off, this case is actually a tonneau-shaped case. What does that mean? It is a barrel-shaped case. If you look at the overall profile face on, it has a flat top, flat bottom, and sort of bowing outward on the sides. That gives it a barrel profile shape, the tonneau form. All right, the diameter is 45 millimeters. That's sort of like the average there. All right, the thickness I measured 14.4 millimeters, so it's quite a thick boy, quite a chunky one, and a lug-to-lug distance of 54 millimeters. But when you wear it on your wrist, it goes all the way out with this flaring of the bracelet, the flaring of the strap rather. It goes all the way out to an effective 65 millimeters, so it's quite a large watch. Probably my wrist, a 7 to 7.5 inch wrist, that's probably as small as you want to go. But if you have a smaller wrist, this might actually still be okay. More on that when I get to the fitting portion of this video. Now, all of this is made of microblasted black ceramic. If you take a look very closely at the sides of the case there, you can see all of that microblasting, so you get a nice diffuse reflection of light off of there. There's hardly any high polish save for, you know, the screws, which have those distinct H-shaped screws, high polish on the outer perimeter with that, you know, same microblasted look on the inside. Now, taking a look at the bezel here, it has the same exact construction, same exact sort of finishing there, microblasted black ceramic with those 1, 2, 3, 6 H-shaped screws all the way around the front of the bezel there. Very distinct for an Hublot timepiece. All right, and now taking a look at the crystal here, it is a, as you would expect, a scratch-resistant sapphire. It also has an anti-reflective treatment, but not entirely anti-reflective, so you can still see, you know, patterns of light reflecting off of it. And it's the same as going on the backside here, also curved as on the front. Now, looking through the backside here, we can also have a very clear view of the movement. Very, very beautiful, actually, with all those tiny, tiny polished and satin brush finishing portions there with the microblasted black ceramic, as you can see, going all the way through it. All right. So looking at the dial here, we have what they refer to as a matte black skeleton dial. There's not much color to go with here, but that's what the 1170 in the reference number is. That references the matte black sort of presentation that we have here. Okay, so this is a skeletonized dial. As you can see my fingers passing through sort of on the rear end, through all the way through the movement, and that is part of the movement. More on that in a second, but taking a look at this dial, we have these sort of almost floating index hour marks, 18 karat white gold with luminescence, actually, I believe. If we turn out the lights, we can actually see that it glows in the dark quite handily. All right, my camera's having trouble focusing here. All right, so we have the hour and minute hand, both the obelisk sort of shaped hands with all of the index markers for all of those hours, save for the small seconds at the 9 o'clock. Let's turn on the lights back again so we can see it. Now, save for the index markers that are not there, the 8 and 9 hour marks there, taken up sort of by the wheels and the small seconds hand at the 9 o'clock. All right, very easy to tell the time in low light situations. All right, and all of this together actually only gives you about 50 meters or 5 atmospheres of water resistance. So you can't really take this underwater. I wouldn't recommend going anywhere further than, you know, just swimming on the surface, doing a few laps, but that's about it. Because this is, well, I would consider this more of a sports watch, something that you would wear while driving or even, you know, just jogging at most. Definitely not for, you know, deep end swimming. All right. With that in mind, keeping all of this together is, well, it's all completely sealed, save for the crown. And the crown is quite interesting here because this is a manual wind movement. There's no automatic portions here. So at the very first initial position, you can actually already wind the watch. All right, and as you can see on the dial there, you can see that there is a power reserve of up to 10 days at the 3 o'clock position. And when you're in the red area, the time, well, it will begin to slow down. But as you can see, I am winding the crown in its default position, and the power reserve is starting to go up there. And soon enough, you'll start to see the mainspring start to charge and the balance wheel begin to turn. The small seconds hand will begin to move as well. All right, and considering that this is a manual wind watch, you will have to do this yourself at a certain point in time to get it moving. All right, so that should be enough. And once I've stopped, now you can see that the balance wheel has actually started to spring back and forth with the spring back there as well. All right, and you can see that the small seconds hand has indeed started to move. I'm currently at 8 days of power reserve here, and pulling the crown out to the only position outside of the default will actually allow you to move the minute hand. No issue there. And also note that it does not hack that small seconds hand, so you're not in it for absolute precision, and even then there's no large seconds hand to really follow along that outer track anyway. But the outer track for the minutes, or if you want to use them as seconds, you can just sort of imagine a large center mounted seconds hand. But essentially that minute track going all the way around, well, don't consider this for utmost accuracy, but you would get this for its looks, and its looks is definitely what it has here, especially on the inside of this dial where you can actually see the movement. The movement is the HUB 1233 made in-house by Hublot themselves. All right, it's a manual winding skeleton power reserve movement. As you can see, it beats at a frequency of 3 Hertz or 21,600 vibrations per hour. So again, you're not getting this for absolute precision like you would with, say, one of the higher end Audemars Piguet or Rolex timepieces, or even Seiko for that matter, but you would be getting this because it looks excellent, and the 21,600 vibrations per hour or 3 Hertz is actually good enough for most people. You probably won't even tell the difference. All right, and again, the power reserve, as you can see on this dial, is up to 10 days. Extremely exceptional when it comes to that power reserve, and quite very well needed, because this is a manual wind watch only. There's no winding rotor on the back to, you know, keep the watch wound as you wear it. So be sure to wind this every 1.5 weeks. Altogether, it has 228 components and only 26 joules to get all of this running. Now, 26 is probably the minimum that you will actually need for a watch like this, but, you know, Hublot actually managed to make it work, and work it very handily. Okay, and you know, so looking also at the wearability of this watch, this comes on a black rubber strap, all right, with these sort of channels that sort of go laterally in line with the rubber or in line with the strap itself, all right? And it also has this black ceramic and black plated titanium deployment buckle clasp here, all right? So it opens with the press of 2 buttons, one on each side, to open it up, and it has that single fold over look. It has the the Hublot letter form logo right there on the clasp itself, and I sort of took a stab and sort of guessed my size there, but the pin buckle system here works rather simply. You just feed it in through the top here, and you can then just simply push the pins through 2 of these holes, 2 consecutive holes. Keep that in mind for ultimate stability. So it's much more stable than having a single hole, because a single hole could result in the strap sort of wiggling around in its spot. But having 2 points of contact there, 2 points of not just contact but being held in place, keeps this extremely secure. Not to mention the double button deployment system. All right, so I'll try it on the wrist and we'll see how it feels. Okay, so on my wrist, I measured recently, it's a 7-inch circumference wrist. Now, for me, this is absolutely huge. This is a gigantic watch. Again, this is a 65mm effective height. All right, that's including the strap, 54mm just lug to lug. So this is quite a tall watch. And you know, with that barrel shaped construction, it has a very distinct look to it on the wrist. And looking at it, trying to read it, actually very easy. The white luminescent applications onto those index hour markers makes it very easy to read against the black and, you know, very, very dark matte black movement or dial, whichever you'd rather prefer to call it. All right, now this probably not going to fit very nicely under a suit cuff, but a jacket, very, very nicely. I actually have a jacket on right now, so, you know, it fits rather nicely. There's no issue there, okay? And also, when it comes to the weight distribution, it's incredibly light because of the ceramic construction, and the only metal parts on here really worth mentioning are that titanium, the backing to, you know, really protect. There's not really much of a need to protect against your wrist. Your wrist is, you know, skin, I would hope. And, you know, the ceramic and titanium buckle deployment clasp, as you can see here with the Hublot logo. Now, all of that with the rubber sort of acting as a counterweight to the case. You know, it's very light already with this very light construction. Overall, a very, very nice wearing experience. I don't really feel like I'm, you know, slinging a ball and chain around. And even though it is incredibly light, I do feel that I do actually have a watch on my wrist. So there is much more weight on the case up here, but barely noticeable. Even when compared to, say, Rolex Submariner, Submariners actually feel heavier. That may just be me just looking at how big this is and just expecting it to weigh so much more, but it's incredibly light and it's a very nice wear. You know, it hugs the wrist very well. And if you have a smaller wrist than mine, say like a 6.5 or 6.25 inch wrist, you'll have that a little bit more flaring outward of those the straps, so they will give you more additional breathability room. So, you know, is that certainly a bad thing? No, I would not consider that a bad thing. In fact, I consider that a good thing, having a little bit more of that flaring outward, more so than what you would see on my wrist, because it gives it more breathability, because you're only going to get so much breathability through a rubber strap, save for, you know, just the little sizing holes there. But you know, on the inside, it's completely smooth. There's no channeling, as you would see on the outside, for, you know, wicking away sweat or, you know, just keeping your wrist breathable. So keep that in mind as you're shopping around. Maybe you can switch out the strap if you'd like. It does have those rapid, you know, strap change out functions, very much as you would see like on any other, you know, Hublot Spirit of Big Bang sort of, which it has this sort of like almost like a seatbelt type of feel to it. Just unclasp it using this little button trigger on the very top here or at the very bottom, and it just clips in so easily. So that's an extra, you know, added benefit to these Hublot watches, they really give you a little bit more than you'd really expect. And when it comes to this design choice, well, they're definitely pushing boundaries here. Would you really want something like this? Well, let us know down in the comments below what you think about this watch, or any of the other Spirit of Big Bang style watches. Now, this also comes in a king gold, their version of like a red gold, as well as a titanium build. So if the titanium backing is not quite enough for you, you can get one entirely in titanium. I would expect it just to be, to be just as light as this one. This is incredibly light for what you get. And with a 10-day power reserve, I may actually end up forgetting, but thankfully for this power reserve meter at the 3 o'clock position, you can see it very clearly how many days you have remaining, all right? So, and even then, you also have this sort of like seesaw, or not really seesaw, but a sawtooth sort of meter at the very top at the 12 o'clock position, showing you your progression. If you can't see the little meter because it's obstructed, say, by the minute hand, you can see very clearly at the top at the 12 o'clock position how far you are in the power reserve. All right, so yeah, again, leave us your thoughts on this watch down in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. And if you haven't already liked this video, hit that subscribe button if you would like to see more of our videos, and hit that bell notification so you can be notified when we go live with another video like this one. And as always, if you'd like to purchase this watch or any other watch like this, current production like this one, new, used, discontinued, we have it at Jaztime.com. Links in the description below, and we'll see you in the next one.
If you want to find out more about the watch you just saw in the video, you can just click below on Show More to see the full description. Then you can check the link next to model as seen in video, click on it, and you will get to the proper page where you can see all the details. If you're watching on a mobile phone, you have to click on the arrow down on the right hand side below the video to see the full description. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you would like to share this video with your friends, you can use the share button below and share it on any platform you like. If you have questions, constructive feedback, want to tell us about some mistakes or misspeaks, just write a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, you should subscribe to our channel and visit our channel page where you can find all the videos. And if you're interested in a specific watch brand, you can check out our playlists. If you want to check the price for a watch or want to buy one, remember at Jaztime.com you always get a steep discount, so you should check the prices with us. If you want to know the price for a specific watch, just go to Google, type in Jaztime, plus the brand, model, and the details you're interested in, and Google will find the right page for you. Thank you for watching.